turning a moon crater into a giant telescope. NASA is awarding a grant to fund this concept. Jack Daniels, Western Journal, W&D reports. This is a new mission for NASA. It's considering a proposal to use a moon crater as a mammoth radio telescope that can be used to explore outer space. The NASA Innovative Advanced Concepts Program approved funding for this initial research into the idea according to NASA's website. The major attractiveness of moon-based filled aperture radio telescope is that it escapes the interference that is part of our Earth atmosphere. And as a summary of the proposal, they say that the moon acts as a physical shield that isolates the lunar surface telescope from radio interferences and noises from Earth-based sources, the ionosphere, Earth-orbiting satellites, and sun's radio noise during the lunar night. The project proposes to scan the cosmos at a radio frequency that has never before been possible. They said the Lunar Crater Radio Telescope could enable tremendous scientific discoveries in the field of cosmology by observing the early universe in the 10 to 50 megameter wavelength band, that's 6 to 30 megahertz frequency band, which has not yet been explored by humans till date. Radio telescopes exist on Earth, but constructing one on the moon might be a challenge. The proposal has an answer for that. They said, we propose to deploy a 1 kilometer diameter wire mesh using wall climbing duaxle robots, so that the robots will be used to do this, in a 3 to 5 kilometer diameter lunar crater on the far side of the moon with suitable depth to diameter ratio to form a spherical cap reflector. So they're going to use the crater as a depression to create the telescope in there, the disk. Now, the result, the proposal said, is a 3,281-foot lunar crater radio telescope, making it the largest filled aperture radio telescope in the solar system. The proposal is the creation of Saptarshi Bandyopadhyaya, a robotics technologist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. The concept is one of several approved by NASA's Innovative Advanced Concepts Program, supporting research that could one day lead to projects. Phase 1 award of NASA includes $125,000 towards a project, giving researchers 9 months to determine if it's viable. Another project approved came from Lynn Rothschild at the NASA Ames Research Center for what she dubbed as astropharmacy. Her proposal is this: disease, she says, is an inherent part of being alive, and thus disease prevention, diagnosis, and treatment will be critical to human deep space missions. Pharmaceuticals are used to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease, but suffer from lack of stability on Earth and even more so in the space environment. What if a small quantity of pharmaceuticals could be made in space, on site, on demand, she said. The concept removes concerns about pharmaceutical degradation due to time or radiation during space travel, minimizing the resources needed to provide safe, effective pharmaceuticals needed to keep crew members healthy. And Rothschild said her proposal addresses the fact that drugs degrade over time, something that could be crucial to addressing long missions such as voyages to Mars. And her proposal says if successful in developing the astropharmacy technology, the quality of astronaut healthcare will be improved by eliminating concerns of biological drug degradation. And finally, she says such systems could have spin-offs for on-demand, on-site production of small quantities of other useful peptides like proteins in space, as well as on Earth, an economic path forward for orphan drugs, and improved stability for prototyping genetic circuits in cell-free systems, she said. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.